This year so far has been a great time for cozy gamers, and it's only going to get even better. I'm going to talk about 5 upcoming cozy games that you can wishlist right now on Steam. Up first is Sticky Business. I tried this out during the Steam Nextfest demo, which actually is true for all of these games today. And Sticky Business is an adorable game where you get to experience the joy of running a cozy sticker business, which is kind of weird because I literally do this in real life, but I still found it really cozy to play this game, and it didn't feel like it was replicating quite the same thing. It took away all the stress. You get to choose from dozens of elements and combine them to create the cutest stickers. You get to organize your sticker sheets to make the most efficient space and cost. And as a little side note, I couldn't help laughing at how much I enjoyed this part of the game because I do this for a living. I work at a sticker company. And I literally do this for my job, but I was like, this is so satisfying. This is the cutest thing. I love this. And it is very cute. And there was already loads of stuff, including a bunch of pride things, which I thought was adorable. You also get to pack orders in this game. You get to choose the best color combos of the, I'm going to call them worms, little wiggly cardboard things that go in the box, and the tissue paper. And you also get to hear about your customers' stories and their lives and what they're up to and about their progress, and you get to hear story through the messages they leave with their orders, which I think is so unique and so adorable. You get to see the most cute stories, and it's from a range of different customers. They're lovely little pieces of information from the character in all of these little messages, and you get to hear more and more about their story as the time goes on, and they return to your shop and buy more stickers. And it's even cooler that they buy the new stickers that you've designed. There is also a Twitch integration for this game, which I know is so cool, and I am a Twitch streamer myself. And I tried this out on my stream a couple weeks ago, and your viewers can order stickers from your shop. All they have to do is type in, I think it was ! order, but it was something really simple, and then they had to just put the number of the sticker. The game assigns numbers to all of your current designs that you have, and then your chat just puts ! order and the number that they want, and they can order multiple stickers if they put spaces in between the numbers and put more numbers in. And I think that's a lovely way. So I think it makes it an even cozier game because you can play it on stream and your viewers can interact as if this is a real shop, as if they can genuinely buy from your shop. And I think it's really cute. I will definitely be buying this on release and playing it on stream with my viewers using the Twitch integration. I'm so excited to try it out even more. Next up is Moonstone Island. Moonstone Island is a creature collecting life sim where you play as an alchemist going on a journey to complete your training. You get to make friends, brew potions, collect spirits, and fight in card-based encounters. There's also a skill tree to upgrade abilities. Of course, it is a farming sim, so let's touch on that first. This works as you would expect. It's quite basic, but there's also lovely sound effects with the watering animation. I don't know why I love this so much, but it felt good enough to mention. So cute. And you can use your scythe to gather seeds from the plants around the village, which is really interesting, as in most farming sims, for example Stardew Valley, you have to go and buy the seeds. In this way you can collect them yourself, which I think is really nice. There's also mining and a dungeon. So you can access the mines through breaking rocks next to your house. So there's big rocks and you just break them, and then a ladder may appear underneath some of them. Not all of them, but there can be ladders, and that's how you get down into the mines. Mines and the dungeons are 2 separate things, but that's how you get down into the mines, and you can encounter spirits in there, and then you get into a card-based encounter, which I'll touch on in a minute. The dungeon, however, is different, and it took me a minute to figure out how to get across the gap and what this big statue was in the middle of the room. I wandered around for a good couple minutes trying to figure out what to do, but then I remembered about the existence of the balloon in my tools wheel. You can use the balloon to travel across gaps in the game and to different islands. I didn't get that far in the demo. I don't know if you could in the demo, but it is said that you can travel with the balloon to different islands, which I think is really interesting. There's also over 100 islands in this game, so there's plenty of places to go and build your new home after you finish your training. In the dungeon, it's very puzzle style, with glowing stands that teleport you to different rooms, and you get to try to reach the treasure chest by figuring out the puzzle. There is logic. It might not look like it in the clip that you're seeing, but there is logic to this, and you can figure it out. It is just a puzzle, which I think is really fun. I love puzzles. But then you manage to find the way out eventually. In the dungeon and the mines, you can encounter spirits, and by encountering spirits you enter into a card-based encounter. This is how the fights take place in Moonstone Island. As a fan of card collecting games, I love the idea of the battle being in cards. This isn't something you see very much in cozy games, but this makes it really stand out to me. Plus, the spirits give me Pokemon vibes, and I'm so here for that because I love Pokemon, as evidenced by my Piplup on my microphone. There are even bosses in these fights, and I really couldn't beat this one in the demo, but I think when the full game comes out it would be a lot easier because you'd be a lot more well equipped from playing more. The friendship and dating side of Moonstone Island is very unique to me. I haven't seen anything like this personally. It does work on gifting like it does in Stardew Valley, but you also have chances at success when you're trying to chat, flirt, or joke with the characters. And I think it's a really interesting twist on the friendship side of life sims, and I know that a lot of people are also interested in the dating side of these life sims. And I think it's really interesting that you have a percentage chance in this. And the more that your hearts go up, the more the percentage goes up, so it gets easier to flirt with someone the more hearts you have with them. The fishing minigame in this, I actually found it harder than in Stardew, and that's saying something because I find the fishing in Stardew very difficult. It took me a couple tries to figure it out, but the fishing minigame feels really unique, and it is quite a fun mechanic, and I think the more you do it, the more you'll get used to it. But you have to use your mouse and follow the fish around the pool, and you follow the fish with your cursor in order to catch it, which isn't actually that bad, and I did manage to catch a fish. Tools don't take up inventory space, which I think is amazing because it's always been, everyone suffered from this pain. In Stardew, you've got all of your tools and they're taking up all the space, and you're on a run in the mines and you don't have room for that last thing, and you're like, well, I can't throw away my pickaxe, can I? The tools shouldn't take up inventory space, and they don't in Moonstone Island, and I think that is great. You can pass out from exhaustion in this. We've all been burned from this in other games. I know that for a fact, and this did happen to me in the demo because I did not realize like the timings that you exhaust out, so it's something to keep an eye on, but it's just a nice little extra mechanic that I thought I'd touch on. And also each morning you get a little letter dropped off to you, which I had to show because it's got the cutest animation with the letter being dropped off to you each morning, and it's like a little update on what's going on in the town, which is lovely. And as always, you have a journal. In these types of games, you always have a journal, and it is full of quests for you to complete as you play. And even in the demo, you get quite a lot of quests from talking to the characters, and I think that's really, really fun. And these don't seem to be that timed. They're all more story-based quests that will keep going. The release date for this game is said to be Q3 2023. We don't have an exact date yet, but again, I'm very excited for this one. This next one might be my top game on this list, and that is Cuisineer. Cuisineer is a roguelike dungeon crawler mixed with a restaurant sim. I spent my childhood obsessed with any restaurant game I could get my hands on, like Burger Shop 2 or the Papa's games. Many Flash games that were restaurant based, anything I could play, and more recently Play Up and Overcooked. But I've been searching for a cozy restaurant sim. Cuisineer fits that perfectly. You play as Plum, a young adventurer turned restaurateur. You are trying to save your parents' restaurant as you try to pay off their debt through dungeon delving, using your giant spatula to fight off chickens and more creatures. You collect ingredients from the dungeon and take these back to your restaurant to use in your cooking. You can interact with all of the townsfolk, and the artwork in this game is beautiful, right up my alley, and I think it is the cutest things, especially because there's a bubble tea shop, and the people running the bubble tea shop are beautiful. I love it. You can get quests from interacting with all the lovely townsfolk, and also most of these quests will unlock you more dishes when you complete them. Even in the demo though, a lot of these were quite high stakes quests. You had to collect 10 of these little chili pepper animals. I can't remember what they were called. They were very cute though, but they seemed to be, from what I experienced, rare to interact with in the dungeons. But this person wanted 10 of them, I think. And so that was quite a difficult quest to complete. I didn't complete it in the demo. So you can see that these quests, you'd have to really, really build up to them, but you would gain a lot of new recipes by doing this. So it's definitely worthwhile, and I think it keeps the game really fresh and interesting because you're introducing a lot of new items into your range of being able to cook. And of course, there's running the restaurant. Once you've gathered all the ingredients from your dungeon delving, you open up the restaurant and you start serving all the people from the town. I will admit, the people can be pretty impatient, and the people can also order things that you don't have available in your restaurant, and then they will look like they get really angry and they walk out, which does make you feel a little bad. If you're like me, I'm like, I'm sorry, I just don't have the food that you want. But it doesn't matter, you'll eventually unlock the food and you can serve certain customers. There is also a lot of decoration aspect to this, which personally I didn't play around with that much in the time that I had in the demo. But I've seen some things on Twitter and they look lovely. The things that the Cuisineer account itself has posted, the decoration looks insane. It looks like it will look amazing when you're done with your restaurant. The release date currently just says coming soon for this game. Sadly, we don't have an exact date or even a time of year, but I really hope it comes out soon because I'm so excited for this. Number 4 on the list is Paleo Pines. I've heard so much talk about this game and it definitely lived up to the hype. Paleo Pines is a charming game where you explore a world where dinos and humans live in harmony. You and your dino companion Lucky arrive at Paleo Pines to build a new home and unexpectedly set off on a quest to discover the whereabouts of all the other Parasaurolophus. You get to build your farm layout in this game. There's a lot of customization, it seems, and you have to clear up your farm a lot as the start happens in a lot of these games. Your farm is a mess. It's run down, you're taking over, it's all new to you. So you have to figure out how to do all of these things, but don't worry, all the people in this game are lovely and they explain things in a great way. You get to build a pen for Lucky, and Lucky can help you with tasks on the farm as well. From the trailer, you see that the dinosaurs that you can befriend help you in the farm. You don't get that far in the demo, but it looks amazing. The fact that the dinos can help you water and hoe the land and do all of those things is really fun and exciting and so unique. You can go to the town market and buy things from all the townsfolk there. Most people have a stall, or all the main ones that you talk to anyway. There is also a quest board, and you can also get quests just from talking to the people selling in the market as well. You can make discoveries in your journal as you wander about. There'll be a little icon to show and you can discover something new, like even just places like the bridge that you walk over near the start of your farm has a discovery patch. And whenever you find a new dinosaur, you can discover them. And different like mushrooms and plants and things, you discover those as well in your notebook, so you get a big collection of things. You can tame dinosaurs in this game, and then you befriend them, and it is the cutest thing. So by the end of the demo, I had befriended an extra dinosaur, and it's so cool. It was a Gallimimus. You befriend dinosaurs by playing your flute. Isn't that cute? When you get your flute, it shows you what the different buttons mean. So there's basically 4 colors, I think it was 4. But there's different colors, and you'll see as you're wandering about Paleo Pines, you'll see the dinosaurs almost making call-outs, and they'll have little bubbles next to them with the colors of these. They look like smoke clouds or something, but they'll be colors and symbols. And when you're trying to befriend a dinosaur, you have to play your flute by pressing the right colors in the right order to match their tune, to match their little call out, and then the dinosaur will trust you. But you can give the dinosaur a treat at the end to finalize the friendship, and then you can make the dinosaur follow you home. You can also use your flute to give directions to your dinosaur to tell it to stay, to follow you, that this is its new home, and it should make itself comfortable. The release date for Paleo Pines is set to be 26th of September 2023, and again, I'm really excited for this. The last one to talk about today is Lueur and the Dim Settlers. This is a very relaxing builder strategy game, where you rebuild the realm and try to save it from the darkness by collecting light and spreading the light. You have to manage your resources carefully, and you get to decide the fate of your people along the way. In this game, there's a lot of intros and how-tos from Lueur, which is a little flame character. Very cute. But Lueur tells you everything you need to know about the game, which is lovely. It's a very good introduction to the game, and I really felt like I knew what I was doing. But at the same time, there was little bits and pieces that you explored yourself and found out yourself as you played, which I really enjoyed. The light is what you collect, and you use this to get rid of the darkness. You use the light to uncover new tiles and explore the darkness by doing so. On these tiles, they can be plain, they can be desert, there can be treasure chests, there can be mountains or waters, or the monoliths, which you have to destroy. These are pure darkness, and you really have to destroy them. These are the bad things in the game. There are also question marks on the map, and at the start of the game I was really confused at what these question marks were, so of course I wanted to uncover enough tiles to reach the question marks. And these question marks I found can be either two things. They're either what looks like a hole in the ground, which every now and then will fill up with light, and you get to collect loads of light from this. It's insanely helpful. Or they are the monoliths, and these, like I said, are what you have to destroy. You really have to manage your resources in this game. Everything takes wood, people, or food. You can grow wheat fields to gather food. You can also hunt deer to gather food. You can also chop wood to gather wood, or build a lumberjack house. You can gather extra light through building an observatory in the mountains, or by building a lighthouse next to the waters. Again, in the waters, to gather more food, you could build a fishing boat. You can also build tents so that you gather more people. Your town grows larger. And within your fort, which you can upgrade to a castle, you can learn skills. You can learn how to hunt better. You can learn how to be more effective in the game. The skills are pretty interesting. I won't spoil them all, but they're very cool. This demo is also still available to play, so if you wanted to go and try it out, you can currently on Steam. Sometimes you have to make decisions about your people. There's one message in the game where someone got lost while hunting, and you had to choose whether to sacrifice them or to send out a search party to help them. But of course, sending out the search party costs your resources. So you have to make the hard decisions in the game of will you spend the resources to go and help your people, and possibly then not be able to feed everyone? Or do you go and save the person regardless? You get different outcomes based on what you choose, which I think is really fun. In the game, there is a storm. The storm comes from the darkness, and you have to use your light to extinguish the storm. This takes a lot of light, so building things like the observatories and the lighthouses is pretty essential to gather enough light to fight the storm. At first, in the tutorial that's in the demo, it shows you a weak storm at the beginning, but you fight the storm a couple times during the demo and it gets harder as you go along. The storm can expand and take over your tiles that you've uncovered, so you have to spend even more light to recover those tiles. If you can't defeat the main square, it keeps spreading until you can, so it's really important that you try to gather your light and save it for the storm. In the demo, I'm not sure if this happened in the full game, it shows you how many days until an upcoming storm. That could have possibly just been a demo thing so that you get a feel for preparing for the storm. It would be really cool if this was a feature in the main game though. The release date on this game still says to be announced, so sadly we don't know when this is going to be yet. But I'm sure it will be during 2023, and I'm really looking forward to it. The demo was super fun, and since it's still available, you should really try it out for yourself. I hope you found a game today that you want to wishlist and that you're excited for out of these 5 ones that I spoke about. I enjoyed all of these demos. They were all fun and all quite different from each other. I'm definitely most excited for Cuisineer due to my love for restaurant games, but please let me know which ones you're most excited for. And come back soon for more cozy content.